Hello, welcome to game 2 of Previews Week. We've got loot again. Loot is coming from not from buried treasure. Loot is coming from Wealthy Village. If you have 3 treasures in play, you can gain a loot. Well, we can get, when I gain this, so we can get buried treasures into play pretty easily. We can get tools into play, so it seems like we're quite well set up to do this. Let's take a look at Shy. I may discard a Shy card for +2, and cheap cards cost 1 less. So Falconer being Shy seems really strong. I think I'm going to open with Enchantress and... Sorry, Falconer I can discard for 2 cards. That's not that strong. Wealthy Village is cheap, but it doesn't do very much yet. I think I'm going to go Enchantress... Bauble? I can also go Enchantress Tools. There's like a 50-50 chance. There's a 75% chance the Tools hits an Enchantress. More than that, even, because they could play their Enchantress. So I don't know. Let's. It seems risky, but I'm going to do it. Well, you know, that's life. We'll get a Bauble. My Enchantress just completely whiffs the shuffle. Then I'm going to get a second Enchantress now. I'm likely to be Enchantress attacked here, and if I collide them, I'm okay with that. And now I'm going to look to start. So we can gain an Enchantress, and I guess we get another Bauble. Mountain Folk can let us get some loot. Just our Enchantress missing the shuffle entirely in the Tools Sing turn 1, and that was just kind of it. This is kind of a train wreck of a game. I guess I took a silver. I'm the one who took the silver, right? No, they took the silver, so I took the silver. So here we can get a loot. Since we have all these treasures. We'll see what we draw. I kind of want a Sentry, and the Sentry will help us get more loots faster. We'll see what we draw. I could also get like a buried treasure that gets into play, and then next turn buy that. Okay. It doesn't do anything on top of the deck. I could do favor top deck, I think. And we'll buy the Wealthy Village, which we will top deck that because it might get pigged. And we gain a spell scroll. Trash this to gain a cheaper card. If it's an action or treasure, you may play it. Sure, I'll top deck that. That seems cool enough. So what do I want to gain from this? I want to gain a Sentry, I suppose, which means I want to play the Enchantress. And gain a Sentry, which I can play to trash. So coin favor. And then tools. Oh, this is cool. I can gain a mining village, which lets us gain another loot, which is a puzzle box. I'm going to set a card face down, put it in my hand at the end of the turn. So it's like a save. And we'll just take some more Enchantresses. Yeah, and I immediately draw it. So that's kind of cool. I get the really good, turns out to be really good, and I'd taken the favor preemptively, and I get the spell scroll, which means I can gain to get the thing, and I draw the puzzle box immediately, which means even if I collide terminals here, I can play them. They got this. It's a nice card. I think I just want more Sentries. I think Sentries are going to be very good cards here to thin and cycle through and find the good stuff. I'm not quite worried about the buried treasure yet. I am slightly annoyed by repeatedly colliding my Enchantresses and no villages, but I at least have a pig here. I'm actually going to draw 2, so maybe I'll draw something. Maybe I just don't have enough actions and I need to play Enchantress as a pig. But using tools as the 3rd treasure to gain Wealthy Village is pretty cool. I'm also going to power up Mountain Folk this turn, so next turn should be really big for me. I feel like I'm a couple turns behind still, just due to the bad cards. Okay. Pretty frustrating to only be able to trash 1 like every time, but... Alright, so we go coin favor... Favor top deck, favor coin, I suppose. Favor coin, Yeah, because we might get one of the loots that go into play immediately. Who knows? We can top deck that, and we gain a prize goat. Let's see what that does. Plus 3 coins, 1 buy, and my treasure card in my hand. Sure, I'll stick that on top. That seems like a nice card to have on top of your deck. I can use that as a goat to trash some stuff, since Sentry is doing a very, very slow job of it. And it took me forever to get Sentry. They got a doubloons. When you gain this, gain a gold. So it kind of comes with 2 prizes, which is cool. I haven't gotten a buried treasure yet. I've been kind of focusing on the loot. I feel like I'm quite far behind, although this turn I am going to start with plus 3 cards, just to try to work my way through this deck. They get a figurehead. Enchantress and Mountain Folk. If we find all of our villages and none of our enchantresses, it's pretty sad. Okay, so prize goat can trash an estate. Puzzle box. I can set aside a card. Okay, it's not a duration, so I can set that aside. All right, tools. I think we're just gonna go for some more loot. We'll get ourselves. Maybe I just play this immediately. Maybe I gain this for 5. I wanted to get one of those anyways. So we got insignia. This turn, when you gain a card, you may put it onto your deck. Gain another one, we get a hammer. Gain a card costing up to 4, and maybe we've got enough villages now. We'll take even more enchantresses. So yeah, we're running wealthy villages and enchantresses. Obviously, the cheap wealthy villages makes a big difference here. I do have another Sentry, I believe, at the bottom of this deck, so I can consider playing one for the duration hit. And I assume they're going to start greening here. It seems like this is the turn. I also use my Mountain Folk, which they haven't used yet. So they're going to get a big Mountain Folk turn at some point. But it seems like a turn to buy a province for them. Pretty sure I have a couple of baubles down here as well. So the Sentry's not even going to find anything to trash. Sword is the attack. Yeah. This was just like very, very bad draw for me. Not sure what else to say beyond that. I bottom decked 2 enchantresses and top decked like all my villages. And bottom decked both Sentries and did not see anything that was trashable. Yeah. So that sucks, but you know, it's previews. You can't expect to win all the games, and I've got all these extra villages now, so I can certainly play some. Insignia does what Bauble's already doing, and both my baubles missed a shuffle as well as both my Sentries. So I guess I'll get rid of 1 wealthy village because I may need the coins from Insignia to hit 8. But my opponent's been super far ahead since like turn 3. Yeah, the turn 3 hitting 5. What did I open? Enchantress tools. Yeah, maybe the tools was bad. I mean, you could tell me that the tools is bad and I believe you, but I feel like I drew much worse than is deserving of the tools open, unless Steph and Donald X are agreeing to punish me for the open. Okay, all sorts of stuff going on here. I'm hitting some amount of money. I can top deck some amount of things. So this is like 15. Or I could play Puzzle Box and set aside Hammer. I could set aside Insignia for next turn. So I don't really need the Prize Goat this turn. I kind of want to play the Prize Goat, I guess, to trash this copper. So maybe I'll just set aside the Insignia. And then play Hammer, which can gain us... who knows? The Enchantress seems bad because it'll end the game quicker, but... and then Prize Goat. And then gain a province. Yeah, probably I just left them open to pile out on baubles here. given the extra cards here. It seems almost impossible for them not to be able to afford 5 baubles. Yeah, so I'll let them play this out. Yes, the thing about the tools open is if I draw at turn 3 with no Enchantress, which is, it's 5 and 12 to draw at turn 3, but it's quite a bit. That's only a third of that to draw it with no Enchantress. So, sorry, 2/3 of that. So like a quarter of the time I draw it turn 3 with no Enchantress. And then if I draw it turn 4 and bottom deck my Enchantress, there's a 5 and 12 chance that my opponent has put the Enchantress into play. So I think I had an unlucky draw. Obviously, if I open silver Enchantress the way they did, you just hit Sentry turn 3 and then win. But I can't know that I draw cards in that order, and I can't know that I bottom deck the Enchantress entirely and don't see it in the first shuffle. Okay, they're doing stuff. In a normal ladder game, I would have resigned long ago, but this is previews, so we'll let them do whatever it is that they're doing here. They've had a trivial pile out for about 45 seconds at this point. But why? There's like a world now where I win? I mean, it's unlikely. We will gain one of you, and we will not top deck it. And tools, we can gain a buried treasure, which we'll put into play, and buy a duchy. I mean, this still should be a trivial win for them, but it seems like they just attempted to give me the game. Okay. It's very poor form playing the attack when you already have the things, but that's a game there. Yeah, it's very poor form when you have 8 to buy the last province to play an attack, then make me make a decision, and so on. They also missed a pile up the last turn. So we'll try to find another game here.